What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we jump onto these charts, see what we could do on this fine Wednesday, September 24th. Make sure you view this on the screen. Trading is very risky. Most traders lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions, read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. What is going on, chat? Let's hop onto these charts. Taking a look at ES here on the Top 1 Futures Project X platform. 7-pack, a straight to funded Sim Pro account. So we're going to see if we can't put some damn profit in today. See what we could do. What's up, chat? Wolf, what's going on? Dennis, what's going on? JB, good morning. Scott, good morning. Chuck, Cook Smith, Andrew Bags, what's up? Dwayne, what's going on? Purple Ninja, Rhombus, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see. You guys are all saying good morning to each other as well. I love it. Got a great community here on Team RDF, Team Real Deal Futures. Now, let me just make sure you guys can see and hear me all right. A couple people said the volume was low yesterday, so I'll start yelling into the mic today. If you guys, one other thing I want to say right off the rip, if you guys hear some background noise, some banging and crazy noises, I got some roof repair going on at my house. Unfortunately, I'm not super stoked about it, but if you guys hear some background noise, that's unfortunately what I'm dealing with today. So let me just make sure you guys got some nice There we go. All right, cool. Bookmap loaded up on the right-hand side. Volume looks good. Everything looks good. Cool. Let's run it. Chat. As we are opening up here, starting to sell off a little bit. Let's hop out to the daily. See what happened yesterday. Got a little bit red yesterday, chat. A little bit red yesterday. We finally did not push above prior bar high, and we got some selling pressure. We actually turned to the downside, put a little bit of a bearish bar in. We actually have a decent size red candle that got put in there, not just a crazy wick to the downside before a blast off. Interesting to see. If we look at the 15-minute, not too much to be said on the daily there. We know what Friday looked like, right? Big push to the upside. Oh, excuse me, Friday. We know what yesterday looked like. Overnight session was choppy and then into the open. Kind of testing these highs, right? Faking everybody out. This was 9:45. This was 10 a.m. looking like we wanted to blast off. And then we really started to turn to the downside. I wrapped it up as it was just looking choppy here into really even the 11 a.m. session, 11 a.m. time frame. We didn't really start to sell off until we got down below this level. Found some buyers here at prior week high, and then into the afternoon really sold off really aggressively. Didn't get any trades here on ES yesterday. Just was not messing with any of it. And now overnight session, we got a little bit of a push to the upside, a little bit of a recovery right into the close. A little bit of a push to the upside, and now returning back down to test VWAP. Interesting overall. I feel, and I think a lot of traders have started to feel this after yesterday, I feel like we at least have an opportunity for less of a single direction only push to the upside type of a trade intraday here, right? I think we might start to see some back and forth movement here. Maybe some consolidation. I don't think a top's in. I'm definitely never one to call a top on the first down day after a straight push to the upside. Even when it feels like there could be a top in, right? Price often wicks above it multiple times, right? We take everybody out 2 or 3 more times before really starting to sell off. All of that said, looking at the 15-minute chart before we drop down to the 1 minute, just analysis-wise. If we start to turn to the downside, right? And I really haven't had many downside levels on my chart because there hasn't been a need for them. We've just been pushing the upside. If we start to turn to the downside and we start to break below yesterday's low, right, outside of this area of high volume, where's the next area of interest that I'd be looking at my chart? Take a wild guess, right? It'd be down here where we've had multiple tests and quite a bit of volume traded, right? So I can actually go ahead and mark this with you guys. To the downside, you could always just take a look at visible range volume profile. You could zoom in, zoom out a couple times because this continues to adjust, right? It's going to change a little bit. And you could throw a small zone dead set in the middle of that, right? Take a look at what that looks like. I'm going to go a little bit higher with this. I think if we started to come down lower, that would be the next level of interest, down into the 66.75s to the downside. If we really started to sell off aggressively here and come lower. Now, I'm not anticipating that. I'm not saying I'm getting short. I'm not saying I'm just looking for, one direction here. I'm just marking out something down below price. Next area that I'd be looking at would be market structure, price action, key levels of volume, right? Multiple volume points of control. Key level of volume, obviously, above prior week low. Down below this level, prior week low, right? So we got some levels to the downside that I'll be taking a look at. We continue to push if we start to push back up to the upside, all the way back up here, up around that high, right? Pretty obvious. Past that, it's not much structure to trade off of. Interesting, though. Interesting. Let's hop down to the 1 minute and 15 minute. Side by side. Take a look at this 1 minute structure. So right off the open, starting to sell off. Cracked back down through VWAP. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing insane. Nothing to write home about just yet. If you guys have traded with me here before, I don't like to get involved before the first 15 minutes. Definitely not before the first 10 minutes. Maybe I have something really beautiful that I'm looking at into the open, but I certainly do not like to jump in the first 10 minutes of the trading session. I think that could be a wild move to do. But I'm going to look at this either way. Much more flexible than I was yesterday. After the beginning of this week, end of last week, beginning of this week, there was just a lot behind staying hands off on shorts, on trying not to get involved over and over again on the wrong side of this market. We could get some consolidation up here. We could start to see some chop. We could start to see some selling pressure come in. A little bit more confidence looking at this from both directions. Still going to be cautious. Still going to be cautious overall that we may not get big selling pressure, right? We are still in a higher time frame trend to the upside. This is a very bullish market, so we are still going to be cautious there. But so far, sold off yesterday near the highs. Choppy overnight session, although drifting to the higher end of that. Not testing prior week high, opening, selling off down through VWAP. If I start to take a look at Bookmap with you guys, which I will here in a minute before I hop back into the chat and say what's up, just going to frame some of the initial thoughts for the day, right? Give you guys my entire analysis. Quite a bit of liquidity right down below price here. Quite a bit, right? I was waiting to yap about this. All the way down through the 710s. It's not very far, right? We're right here. We're coming down into it. Quite a bit of liquidity here. So I probably am not going to look to get involved until we do something 10 points above or 10 points below price right now. Through the 30s, through the 10s. I'm not saying I'm going to trade in that direction, but I'd want to see at least us come down, not even, 9.5 points, 9.25 points, and fill this liquidity. It's been on the book since well before we opened up here for NYSE session. I think that could potentially act like some support, but I'd like to see us fill that before I look at anything. To the upside, we did have quite a bit. It looked like it started to come on right before the open and stayed on. The 6730s. I'd be looking for us to trade through that level. So we'll see. Nothing crazy on CVD just yet. Cumulative volume delta, the difference between buy and sell volume from a specific anchored point, which is, for me, about 6:30 a.m., a little before 6:30 a.m. Nothing insane there, although negative as we're starting to drift lower. Nothing insane. So, wait and see. Now, if we aggressively start to sell off, I do think this could be a fake out before we pop back up, right? I think we could come right through the 10s and then pop right back up. If we aggressively start to sell off, like we start ripping through these 10s, I'm going to be a little bit cautious looking long, but I could consider a long down below overnight low here with a stop loss on the outside of prior day low, right? Where I would look for buyers to step in on a sweep of this overnight low level, a sweep of liquidity, right? Down below all of this price action, all of these lows here, and then we start to recover a little bit. Maybe we just come back up to test prior week high. We don't turn this into a big bullish day, but we fake everybody out short first, fake everybody out long, and then maybe we chop, maybe we come lower. You know, I don't need to hit a home run. I don't need to pick the entire direction of the day in order to generate a win. So I could see first trade idea, potential long down around this level. Like I said, really not before we get into and past the 67.10s, and a potential looking at the 1 minute, and a potential short if we crack up above the 67.30s. I could see a potential short play from up there. Just taking a look at a couple other charts here on Sorry, guys, just taking a look. I know I get quiet sometimes here, but I look at a couple other things. I got a live account loaded up as well on the left hand side. I try to stay up on what the heck I'm doing on all of these dang accounts as we're starting to turn to the downside. Really continuing this move to the downside. Now, do we sweep these lows and pop right back up, or are we just going to sell off today? This is looking kind of interesting here. Looking kind of interesting, chat. Classic move. NASDAQ selling off as well. ES selling off. YM put crack to the upside. Opened up with a 100-point candle to the upside, although pretty aggressively turning to the downside now. Taking a look at YM. Yeah, could have had a short, could have had a limit short in there already on YM. That's actually what I'm eyeballing on my live account. A potential short play back down towards yesterday's volume point of control. I may have to run something like this. Sorry, guys. I'm eyeballing something on YM. eyeballing something on YM here. Sorry guys, don't mean to get distracted. This is the challenge with live trading and 47 different 47 different accounts that you attempt to manage. This is the fun part here. All right. Let's focus up. Let's focus up, chatty chat. How we guys doing today? How we doing today? Correction day. Looks like we have a bear flag on that 1 minute chart. Dwayne, have a great day. Good morning, Zach. Dwayne. Maybe not too much background noise. My buy sell signal takes at least 20, 30 minutes after New York Open. Nice. I like that. Yeah, this is looking weak, guys. This is looking really weak. I'm not looking at anything until we get potentially through the 10s here. Looks like a no trade day unless something happens. Yeah, just reading through your chat. What's going on? What's up? AVS Phoenix, what's up? Got another OG. Happy Wednesday to all. Market will give you everything if you have done your work. Morning, Andrew. 1232, the other Andrew. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Yeah, this is interesting. Let me know what you're thinking in the chat. You think we are headed to the downside? You think we are going to sweep a low here and then pop back up? What's your call on this? How are you reading this? I really think we could do. I really think we could go both ways here today. First, I'm looking to play this long, right? I think we could absolutely continue the correction from yesterday, continue that selling pressure. I could certainly see that happening, and yeah, here we go through the 10s. And this could get ugly if we really start to sell off all the way through prior day low. I'm going to look at this for a pop back to VWAP first. If not, a push all the way back up to overnight high, prior week high. I'm going to look to fade this breakout of the 15-minute opening range right here with a long. I'm looking to get long here, guys. Again, I said I wanted to see the 67 10s get taken out. So I'm looking for a long right down in here. I would run stop loss way outside of prior day low down here. Are we just going to sweep? We didn't fill everything here. We got 67.10, another 300 on the book right down below. It's going to be one of those ones from last week, close but no cigar. Here, I'll mark it. I need to come down below this level. 67.10. Down below overnight low, there's a little bit of liquidity. Not a little bit. There's quite a bit of liquidity right here. For the way that I use order flow when I apply it to some of my trading decisions, this is it right here. I don't think it's a super smart move to get long before that level gets taken out. And then maybe we start to see this, right? That's happening right here. I'm in long. Again, I'm not going to wait for some crazy confirmation on this. I'm not going to wait for a turn. I'm going to enter aggressively as we're selling through this level. That's my play. Stop loss down below prior day low. Taking the rest of it on Bookmap.
Order filled.
I'm in long here, guys. In long here with one ES. We took out all of that liquidity that was down below. Does that mean we reverse here? Does that mean we start to find some buyers? Don't know. Don't care. Only going to follow my system, my approach. So I'm long on this one. Again, aggressively long. Stop loss wide outside of prior day low. Going to be at 66.90 3/4. Could be a very aggressive stop out if this is going to be an insane sell-off and we're going to push all the way down through these 700s. Could absolutely be that way. I'm running this one wide. Stop loss outside of prior day low by over 10 points. Plenty of room for that to come back in. Running this no take profit, but plenty of room, not even to grab a 1-to-1 before prior week high. So that's my play on this one. I did get filled short on YM in my live account. In my own personal cash account, I did get filled short on YM on a crack to the upside. Well, it's what I was trying to manage as I was getting quiet there. So I trade these indices differently, very differently. The structure is different. The trade management's different. But I am filled short on YM in a live account. So we'll see how that one plays out. But so far, I want to see what happens here. Do we continue to just absolutely sell off? I'm very confident with us coming and retesting this level, cracking below by a few. I honestly wouldn't mind it at all. My reason for getting short up here is I don't know that happens, right? I don't know that we come outside a prior day low. We could just dip down here and then blast back up to the upside. But remember, right, outside of the reasons for the trade, the thought process, what we're looking for, all we can do is put our trades on by following our system, try to structure our risk consistently, and accept whatever risk we put on, right? So when I put this trade on, am I going to cry if I get taken out for 987.50, right? A little bit more with fees? No, right? That's the risk that I'm putting on. That's my stop loss. If I don't want to lose that much money, I should size down. I should move the stop loss. I should put it in a different spot, right? I think really reflecting on that piece when you put a trade on and saying, I'm accepting this risk every time. I try to do it every single time I put a trade on. And I say, this can rocket past my stop loss immediately, right? And I'm going to have to accept that. If you're not going to accept that, if you're not comfortable, when it happens, you're going to go on tilt, right? You're going to overtrade. You're going to try to do something else crazy, right? You're going to be upset. You're going to be angry. You're going to say, I shouldn't have done that. Well, then don't do it. You know, have that, make that conscious decision on the front end. Colby, what's up? Colby Clark. I'm the only one over here on Kick. That's cool. Me and you can chat on Kick. Colby on Kick. What's happening, brother? Let's see. Let me know what you guys are thinking. We got, I think that's the same person. Good morning, guys on Kick. Guys and girls on Kick. Let's see. If we can get there, 700 is a magnet. Good that you long ES. I'll short MYM. Yeah. Again, I don't really love the idea of being in opposite direction trades on the U.S. indices. They are different approaches. They're not different approaches. Similar approach. Different trade structure. Different trade management. Right. And again, I've had traders on here, Randy specifically is the one, that have gone short when I've gotten long on ES and vice versa, and we've both made money, right? It depends on your sizing, your trade management, everything in between. Humberto Walls, what's up, brother? Let's go. JB, waiting to see if we recapture 67.13 to go long personally. Yeah, sure. We're going to try. Now, is this just going to be a break and retest of the overnight low level, right? I'm sure we're going to run into some short sellers right here. Some sells right here, not short sellers. We could see something like this. I'm still okay with that. I want to see this level hold. We come through this and we hit my stop loss. I think we're headed lower, right? This is I'm very happy with an invalidation point down here. If we come through this, I wouldn't be looking at anything until this level. There's not a lot of volume traded in between here and here. I think we could, if we come outside of this, we don't find buyers even a few points below the 6700s. I think we could be in for some serious move to the downside. But first, I'm looking at this back up through VWAP into the 725s. 15 points or so higher. Let's see, you guys are saying in chat, 700's a magnet. If we can get there, that's good. Looking at 15-minute. Too short prior day low. Possible head and shoulders. Zach, I blew my funded yesterday. What was the deal that you talked up? A few detail, please. Yeah, I could talk about that. Talk about that in a minute. Sorry to hear that, brother. Sorry to hear that. And the first thing that I'd say, even though I am biased to tell you, buy another account and buy 10 of them with my promo code, right? I think if you suffer a loss, whether it's an outsized loss in a live account, it's a blown prop account, it's any one of those things, if you take if you take an L or you blow an account, I think it's always good to just take a step back, reset, right? Don't just come right back in and hammer it for the day. I'm not saying you have to change everything up, but at least do some review, right? At least take a look at what happened. Make sure you're comfortable jumping right back into another account. This is less needed for, more experienced traders. But I would say there's nothing wrong with just taking a step back for a day, even trading a demo account, reviewing everything that happened in that account before you hop right back in. But I'll show you the top one futures. I'll show you right now. Is this it? Yeah. Top one futures, 45% off all instant funded accounts. These are my favorite accounts. I'll throw the link in chat right now. These are the end of day trailing drawdown. No activation fee, no challenge. Standard 20% consistency. You can copy trade 5 of the 25 and the 50K, up to 3 of the 100 and the 150K. Okay. They're my favorite accounts because these are the best rule set, in my opinion. The widest rule set, the easiest to work towards a payout, but they are the most expensive accounts, right? I'm always going to lean towards what's the best rule set for the most expensive account because I'm more experienced and better funded, right? More capital allocated to trading. If you trade a decent sized live account, you probably don't want to be messing with cheap ass evals and, just going for the cheapest option. You probably say, well, what's the best, trading conditions I can buy myself? These are that instant funded. A lot of traders responded to a story I posted yesterday, a couple comments on the 50K account, because it is one of the best in the industry. On the 50K account specifically, you have a $2,000 max loss limit, $3,000 profit target. Remember, end of day trailing drawdown, not intraday. No ESS score, 20%. If you put up $3,000 of profit, you're withdrawing $2,500. There's a 90-10 profit split, so it is less 10%. But that drawdown to profit target and profit target to payout, to withdrawal, the max payout, is one of the best in the industry for an instant funded account. In fact, I don't know anyone that's better. Maybe somebody can enlighten me. But put them up against your other instant funded prop accounts, right? Look at all the rules. There's drawbacks and advantages to top one futures. But that specifically, if you want to copy trade, if you want to work yourself towards payouts, I think that's one of the absolute best options. If you are looking towards working yourself towards a live account, you want to copy trade a larger size, you want to just trade one individually, the 150K I think is obviously the solid option. That's the ones that I'm trading outside of this 7-pack of straight to sim funded pro accounts, which is the other account type from them that I've been trading for forever. The 150Ks, I traded a couple of the 50Ks, did well, worked myself towards payout. Working on the 150Ks to build a buffer. I still got 2 50Ks left, but working on the 150Ks to build a buffer and work myself towards getting kicked to a live account, because you're able to take the most out of any account from the instant funded 150K. And that's my goal with top one right now, personally, right? Everybody's got different goals. Are you brand new? You're just coming into trading funded accounts with risk on? Maybe you go for the straight to sim funded or even the challenge, right? They're cheaper. Maybe you are more experienced. You want to copy trade 5 of the best rule set. The 50Ks are going to be an awesome option. Maybe you say, hey, I'm done just chasing prop firm payouts. I want to work myself nice and slowly towards a live account. I've taken a bunch of payouts. I've gotten consistent with payouts. I've taken them month over month for a number of months. That's what I have going on this year. Now, I don't care about payouts. I'm not going to work myself towards fast payouts. I'm going to build a buffer. I'm going to trade size, try to scale within the account, not take a payout until I have a large amount of buffer built, and set myself up for the best opportunity for me and to signal to the firm that I'm ready to get moved to a live account. That's what I'm going with the 150Ks. But again, different goals based on your experience level, capital allocation, all of that fun stuff. I think all of that comes into dictating what the best option is for you. But that's what we got going on. If you guys want to check it out, link is in the chat. We're talking about some... Let's see. Market maker has more volume around 10 a.m. Yeah, we got some news. We got a little bit of news coming in 10. No crazy red folder today, right? No. New home sales. New home sales dropping right now. It's an orange folder. Didn't even show you guys news today because it's not something that I expect to have a lot of volatility. We're 2 minutes into it right now, 3 minutes into it. Could have came in way off, but that's what Forex Factory marks as a medium impact that I would mark as like a low impact. Get on a course, try back. Yeah. Awesome. They are really great accounts. I tried the 50K Ignite before, no trouble. Nice. Thanks for the info, Zach. Absolutely. Yeah. We got some different options from Top One. I like a firm that offers different options. Most of them do nowadays. But like I always say, I'm sorry I didn't say it, but I said at the beginning of the video, I'm partnered. I'm affiliated with Top One. I stand to make money, right? I stand to make money from code RDF and the link in the chat. Okay. Important for you to go do your own research, make your own decisions. And to go even further, right? I try to give you guys my honest opinion. Even though I am biased, I can't physically be unbiased. It's just the nature of the business relationship. I don't think Top One is the best option for everybody, right? I don't think any firm is the best single option for everybody because everybody's different. Your skill set's different. Your capital allocation's different. The way that you trade is probably drastically different than each other, all of you, right? The rules are different across all of these. All of the different things like platforms, small rules that may play a role for a very small amount of traders. You have to take that into consideration, right? So do your own research. In my opinion, and I made a story about this yesterday because somebody was asking me, I think Top One Futures is one of the best, right? Like I said, not the best. One of the best options in the instant funded prop firm space and the futures prop firm space in general, okay? It's who I want to trade with personally. It's who I want to be able to market to give the best opportunity to my fellow traders. And it's who I feel I can make the most money with promoting because they're the best. Think about this logically, right? And this is not to say that I have some juice. I have 30 some odd people watching on YouTube, a couple other people here and there, right? I'm not some huge streamer. I don't have it all figured out. I get emails. This is just the God's honest truth, right? I get emails every single week for transparency from almost every major futures prop funding company, Forex and CFD funding companies, crypto companies, platforms, order flow software, everybody asking for partnership with me, affiliation, paid promotion, paid videos, tutorial videos, right? Why would I not partner with who I felt was the best option where I was going to be able to make the most money trading myself and where I'd be able to make the most money promoting, right? Just logical sense, right? Because somebody commented, why Top One? Why not another firm? Why do you yap about Top One? Why do you trade with Top One? I'm hella bullish on Top One. I think one of the toughest pieces to overcome, and which is valid. They are a newer firm, right? They launched April of this year in the future space. They aren't a new prop firm as a whole. Overall, they've been around for over 2 years in the Forex and CFD space as Top One trader, paid out millions of dollars in the Forex and CFD space, right? Real faces and names behind the business, not a random bunch of kids that got together and white labeled something. I see them being around for the long haul. They had some growing pains, no doubt, out of the gate, right? They were transparent about that off the bat. There were definitely some growing pains that I was not super excited about that I voiced openly with you guys. I've watched them continue to adapt, get better, correct any kinds of issues that arise, and I only see it continuing to go that way. I see them here as a major player, as they've been so far. $15 million paid out so far, over $15 million paid out to traders. $15 million paid out to traders in about 6 months. I don't know that there's another firm that's launched from scratch that's paid out more in the same amount of time. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's why I like Top One. That's why I talk about Top One. I have plenty of other options. But again, After saying all of that, I will always acknowledge, number one, there's risks in trading, inherent extreme risks. There's inherent extreme risks in any prop firm that you trade with, okay? I've had prop firms fold on me that I've been trading with in the Forex and CFD space. That's a risk, right? These are businesses. They can fail, all of them, right? And along with that, I think the best option for you as a trader, and very few will say this, they will only talk shit about their competition and hype up who they're promoting or partnered with. Do your own research. Do your own research. The best decision for you is going to be made from you only, okay? There's going to be an option that's best for you. It may or may not be top one. Same thing with Bookmap, right? I talk about, it's important to talk about this stuff and be transparent so you guys know where I stand. I'm partnered. I'm affiliated with Bookmap. I'm stand to make money from you using my link and code and going to use Bookmap. Do I think Bookmap is necessary for everybody? No. Do I think it's the best only order flow tool that everybody should use? No, I don't, right? I like Bookmap. Bookmap is useful for me. I find it helpful, right? I think it's a good investment. Does that mean it's a great investment for every single person? No. I'm just going to show you how I use it, why I use it, how I apply it to my trading decisions. If that works for you and watching it for free, awesome. Great. Have at it. Happy to have you support me and support the channel. If not, if you say, hey, dude, Bookmap sucks, super confusing, hurts me more than it helps me, I'd say, yeah, dude, cool. I don't disagree with you at all. I think it's not going to be for everybody. So that's the way that I approach companies, that I'm partnered with, things that I promote. I think it's important to do that. I might think it's the best. I might think it's the best thing since sliced bread. You got to decide that for yourself. You're a human. You have good cognitive abilities, hopefully. Read the rules, decide for yourself. Go to the frequently asked questions on everything and read through it. That's the way. Now that long rant is done, we're still in long here, chat. We are still in long here, chat. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, that's the comments. Yeah. Check them out. Do your thing. Do your research, man. I think they are one of the best. I think they're one of the best. I think everything I use is one of the best, right? Why would I not use the best? Talk about this trade, guys. In long from 67.10. Seeing if we don't start to get a continuation of this back up to the upside. We had some nice buying volume. We came right back down on it. That looked kind of ugly. Buyers stepped right back in, holding this overnight low. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing something like this, right? I think this is somewhat of a weak low, just a subjective term. I think we could see something like this. We get something like that, I'm going to be really happy. We even get something like that, I'm still really happy. We come back up through this level, right? I'm cool with all of this. We start to do this. We start to do something like this. That's going to look really bad, right? That's where I'd say, you win some, you lose some. But so far, happy with this entry. I'm happy that I talk about what happens after I enter a trade, whether or not it's a winner or a loser. I wasn't super stoked with my short on Tuesday, how that one really didn't find sellers. We just blasted off. At least we put up a fight here, right? Now, sellers give it up, buyers give it up and we sell off. That's cool, right? I can't predict what's going to happen next with any reasonable degree of certainty. But if I entered here and we just knifed lower, and when we found, buyers here or here, maybe I question where I'm placing importance on specific areas on the chart, right? At very least, we got a fight getting put up here, right? Would I have liked to see us just blast off through the highs? Sure. Absolutely. Would have loved to see that. But not yet. We don't get that yet. If we start to sell off, for those of you that have been here before, I think I trust my stop. I hold all the way to the stop loss. We had last week, Friday, demonstrate why I do that. We got all the way within a tick with everybody and their mother in the chat telling me to close it, and then came all the way back out to the upside and generated a nice win. If we start to sell off down here, I do nothing. I sit patient. I don't add. I don't move. I don't move the stop loss. I don't do anything crazy. To the upside, I close with discretion. I'm going to challenge myself to hold my trades a little bit longer. Reviewing my data, which I think is really important. I go back and forth with this because I use discretion. But in general, I could squeeze a little bit more out of my wins, at least a little bit more. Some of them run to the moon, and I'll never capture those unless I hold everything to run to the moon. But I could squeeze a little bit more in general out of my winners, so I'm going to attempt to do that. For this one specifically, I think two areas of interest that I would have would be up here. The 25s, make these green, and then right up here, just below prior week high in between this overnight high level. I think those could be two areas that we could start to find some sellers, right? Maybe we don't push all the way back through these highs and make this a big bullish day. Maybe we are going to sell off, but what happens before we sell off often? We take everybody out, right? We fake everybody out one side, pull back up, pop everybody's stop that's up here above VWAP, and then turn to the downside, right? So highest probability if I was looking for a target, safest bet, most likely to get hit, obviously, right? The farther out you go, the less likely it is to get hit. The higher R multiple you're aiming for. That would be in here at the 725s. Past that, another 5+ points higher past that overnight high. So I'm going to watch what happens. We would need to get through VWAP for either of these to hit, and I'm not taking it at VWAP. We need to see what happens if we come through VWAP. I'll be watching price action. I'll be watching a little bit of bookmap. See what we got going on here. It's looking pretty good to the upside here. Oh, still in the short. Nice. Got short from 725. Wow. Short from way up there. Nice. Held through the open for a few minutes. Very nice. I want your ES to go up. MYM going opposite. Both make money. Cool with that. Good morning, folks. Ducks. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if we can catch a W. Let's see what we got. As always, appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks for listening to me rant about prop firms and who I'm partnered and affiliated with. Talk about all that fun stuff. But thanks for hopping on. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the community. We had a ton of people hop in the free Discord yesterday. 20 some odd. We got like over 2,000 members in there right now. I'm going to drop this in the chat for you guys. 100% free trading Discord. No VIP, no course, no mentorship, no secret group where I want to manage your crypto and give you a 10,000% return. That would all be a scam. Not all be a scam, but that would be that last one for sure. But more than happy to have you in there. I share trade information, talk about news, talk about giveaways, talk about deals, talk about all that fun stuff. But even more so, we got so many other badass traders sharing every single day, sharing different strategies, approaches, tools they use, calling out banger trades. It's awesome. It's really awesome. So I think there's a lot of value in there. I think it's one of the best free communities you could join, in my humble opinion. And I got some more fun stuff coming to Discord. Let's see, Bulls are trying to bring this bad boy back up. I don't mind this. I definitely don't mind this. Definitely don't mind this. Scott says, want to buy a watch. There you go, Scott. All right, we got a new high getting put in, at least from this structure. Now, can we get some follow through VWAP? One thing that I've been watching over on the right-hand side here, which I always do, I don't love this. I really am not a big fan of how negative CVD has remained. We aren't like completely flat and dropping off. We did recover quite a bit. The lows down here were below the 7,000 mark, approaching that negative 7,500. We popped right back up. I would have liked to see this be turning back to flat and then potentially green to really say, hey, we got a lot of buy volume here stepping in, getting ready to drive price higher. I don't love this. This is really not supportive of my long play here. But we came down. We swept that liquidity that was here. We came through it. We found buyers so far right after that. Do we come up and maybe come check out some of this that's up above price, the 25s, the 30s? We've had some, looks like BS come on and off the book up here at the 30s. So that could be a little bit dicey to look at. If I zoom in, we could see the liquidity that's not being blocked out by all the rest of the stuff from earlier, a little bit better. It's not nothing up there, but I really don't like a negative 5,000 cumulative volume delta as we're pushing to the upside here. It just does not help me. Not much for me to do once I'm in the trade with that information. It could, allow me some additional discretion, some market-generated information to say, hey, maybe you don't hold on to this one to be the winner, to be the banger, something really huge, right? But not to take profit, 5 points into the move with 20 points of risk on. That's not great trading for me personally in the way that I'm structuring these trades. So interesting. We need to find some buyers, start popping some of these levels. I'd like to look for it past the overnight high, or right before even that overnight high level, that 25. But we need some strength to come through VWAP here. This is going to be a dicey spot. If we turn back down to the downside, come through this low, it's really not going to look that great. We check this area out, maybe sweep the low and bounce. Not that bad, but I don't love what we're looking at on Bookmap here. Let's see. Get those likes for Zach. Always putting on a good stream. Alex, I appreciate you. Nate, what's up, brother? Shorted it back down. Shorted it down, longed it back up with you. There we go. Do your thing, man. I'm really trying to envision what this day ends up like. I think we could be choppy, but with this turn to the downside, man, there's definitely risk of this extending. There's risk of this going either way. Again, looking at this on the daily chart, here's the candle that we got. I don't love the formation that we have here, right? One thing coming off of higher time frames, market structure, I really look at market structure like zoomed out, highs and lows, less zoomed in on individual candles. I look at that on lower time frames. I really do like to look at price action, which these are kind of interchangeable, but like individual candle formations on the daily, right? You know, what do I think by the end of the day this daily candle is going to look like, right? What's reasonable to expect based on what's happened from Asia and London so far into the open? Yeah, we could absolutely fill out to the downside and come lower all the way down below these lows. Continue this correction for the day, right? Could we flip bullish for sure and just have a little bit of a pullback, not coming down to sweep these levels? Yeah, yeah, we could. I don't have I don't have an insane thing to say. Hey, I don't think we're likely to do this, right? Like for example, if we already have a big daily range, a big candle to the downside, do I think it's likely that it just continues and we put the, a candle larger than the last, 100 trading days? Probably not. Can it happen? Sure, anything can happen. But there's a reasonable expectation of patterns, right? Pattern recognition. This one I do think could go either way. And one thing that I really don't love, I love finding buyers down here, coming back up. I'd like for this reversal to be happening even quicker, but I just don't love cumulative volume delta on this. And it's been a really powerful tool for me to use. CVD, cumulative volume delta. I get mine from Bookmap. You can use other platforms or data to get a delta, but it really does paint a good picture of what's going on by way of volume. And I'm hard pressed to find many days where we have a heavy negative and declining cumulative volume delta that we rip to the upside, unless we start to turn that. Same thing if we are pushing to the upside, kind of just drifting a little bit higher, and we have a really growing negative heavy CVD, oftentimes we get that pressure back down, man. We get a lot of that pressure back down. I don't use it alone. I don't use it exclusively. It's not enough for me to say I'm going to make a crazy trading decision just based on what Delta is doing, but I am aware of it, right? I would be talking about it if we were positive 5,000 green, saying that looks absolutely beautiful for my trade. We are looking really, really solid on buy volume coming in, right? I paint both sides based on whatever's happening. Just give you the market generation that I'm reading. What I do like on Bookmap is the levels above, the liquidity above. Even if we're going to sell off, I think we got a good chance of going up, grabbing some orders sell side that are sitting there, maybe to the 25s. Past the 30s, that'd be really holding for the last level. But I like right past the 25s for a W on this one, if we go and take it. But as always, put our trades on without reservation or hesitation. We let them play out. See what this market's got for me today, chat. Chatty chat chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat. You looking at this as a sell-off to the downside? You looking at recovery to the upside? You looking at something similar? You fading me on this one? Let me know what you think. YM spiking. Well, Zach, I forget what I said earlier. YM and ES kind of switched up. Check CVD on YM. YM still selling off. Yeah, YM putting the lowest session in, looked like. Market just looks to be consolidating. Nothing bigger day so far. Waiting to see if the 67.13 holds. If not, I think we see 67 first. 6,700 first. Okay. Good analysis. Yeah, nothing crazy so far, right? Not a whole lot. No major direction out of this day, right? We didn't blast above prior day lower high. We're kind of hanging out down near that value area low from yesterday, right? This area of high volume that we put in towards the end of the day. Do we start to push to the upside? Maybe just start to come above, kind of chop around back and forth. Do we come down below prior day low? If we do, that's some question. Do we really start to push lower, right? Do we really start to come down outside of these, these 66 and 90s and start to trade all the way lower? We get a big bearish day that gets put in. To the upside, if we do get back up here, which would generate a nice W for me, do we stop here? Do we chop back and forth? Is that kind of what we're going to do? We go check out maybe like the 30s. Do we push all the way back up? Do we say fake out move, right? Everybody's looking at the top. We can finally take shorts now, and then we come right back up, right? I'm reading this as buyers really don't want to let this thing go lower. That was quite a bit of time. We're 38 minutes past the, this selling pressure, really aggressive selling pressure that we had. Sellers have not been able to rip it lower, really just continuing to put a slow grind to the upside on the 1 minute. Do we get volatility that comes right back into the downside? We can get that at any time, right? Coming up on 10:30 right here. Do we go and break this initial balance low? What happens if we break this initial balance low? Do we just continue the downside? Do we sweep it and come back in? More information coming up here is going to be helpful. But we get a nice bullish push through VWAP. I like this. I really like this. So happy with my trade. Waited for my area, right? Framed it out ahead of time. Understood why I was doing what I was doing. Structure my trade. Now I let it play out, right? That's all we can do, chat. That's all we can do. Almost said it was wrong on my stop loss. 46. Stop. Playing bounce off VWAP. Nice. Nice, guys. Nice. Yeah, man. Gonna see if we can't get some motion in these accounts, man. Been back and forth for too damn long on them. But yeah, two things coming up from me, just to keep you guys updated. Two things coming up from me. Number one, I'm gonna be running some more live streams. I tested some stuff, over maybe the past couple months. I'll be throwing in random live streams. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do it. I've got a form that I'm going to have you guys fill out that asks you a couple questions on it. I don't know if it's going to be Power Hour, if it's going to be Asia, if it's going to be London. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to mix in some more live streams. Maybe pre-market, maybe just earlier in the morning, but we're going to have some more time trading live together. Want to give you guys even more time on here. I love doing the live thing. It's my favorite out of all the things that I get to do. as far as content, better than even just making shorts or videos, that type of stuff. I do like joking around and making memes and posting stories and stuff. That stuff's fun for me. But more live streaming. And along with that, update coming to Discord. You guys are awesome. We got more and more members in Discord sharing every day. I'm going to create something to support that, to continue to give back to members in Discord that are sharing their journey, not just calling out winning trades, right? The wins, the losses, the good, the bad, describing what they're doing and why, because I think that stuff provides so much perspective and value, even if it's different than what you do on a day-to-day basis. Just understanding how somebody else is approaching the market, thinking about the market, I think can be really helpful, really helpful. So hop in that free Discord if you're not already. We got some updates coming, I'll always continue to crank out the short form videos. You follow me on IG, on X, more yapping on X, and then long form here on YouTube. Got a ton of tutorial videos, ton of information about prop firms, absolute plethora of videos on top 1 futures, on different things that have to do with Project X. I have a 12 or 13 video tutorial series on Project X, specifically just the platform, right? How to enter and exit trades, how to set up risk parameters, how to copy trade, all of these different things. And I'll keep cranking those out. I'm getting ready to do one on the instant funded accounts. Talk about the accounts that I was talking about more in detail. Maybe compare them against other firms, right? Put them side to side with a nice chart and try to do that objectively, right? Using the information that everybody provides from their site. But more live streaming and more fun in Discord coming up. That's what we got coming up. Let me know in chat. What do you guys think? When do you trade outside of New York session? Outside of this session, if you're listening in chat, when do you trade? When else do you trade? Is it Asia? Is it London? Is it power hour later in the session? Is it pre-market, like late London into New York? Let me know in the chat. I'm always happy to hear. Power hour is cool. That's awesome. Yeah, would love to try London. Hope you do after 8 p.m. Eastern. My hours are changing. Yeah. Giveaways are still rolling, man. We do giveaways. We've been doing a giveaway every single day for the past week, so just hang tight. No guarantees though. Giveaways are random days, random ties. You only get it. You only get a shot by hanging out on here. Sometimes we run no giveaway. Sometimes we run 4 giveaways. Trade NYC, but look in London to get bias. Mostly market open. London. Yeah. So I'm New York time zone, and London's the middle of the night for me, right? It's like 2 a.m. Eastern. London session, there we go. Sometimes pre-market, but power hour works for me too. Yeah, power hour is cool. Power hour, if I had to pick another one, it would be London. Asia is really slow, like really, really slow. Traditionally, not always, but traditionally the lowest volume out of all of these sessions. Asia session would be like, looking into like the 8-9 p.m. Eastern time frame for me, getting late at night. Power hour is cool. I traded a lot of power hour when I was on Top Step TV. That was kind of my segment on there. I was on there often. I've traded a lot with you guys live. Power hour is interesting, but you're kind of like pressed, right? You're pressed for time because it's power hour. It's ending in an hour. The session ends, right? So when I'm looking for a trade or I'm scoping out trades, there's this added layer, which is I think this is going to play out in X amount of time. And there's a clock that's ticking down, right? So if it's 3:15, I'm like, well, this needs to play out in the next like 30 minutes. And then I'm also looking at running into 3:50 p.m. Eastern, which is MOC. So power hour is tricky. There's a lot of volatility, right, that comes in at the end of the day, a lot of positioning. You do get MOC every day. It could be a fun time to trade, but I don't love the all right, if you're going to get a trade on, you're either going to have it play out really quickly, so it's going to be kind of a scalp, or you're holding through MOC, which is very volatile, all the way into the close, and even then, you're done. Prop firm's going to take you out at 4:10 p.m. Eastern latest. So power hour is tricky. It's fun, but there's that added pressure. Like, you're going to get a trade on quickly and you're going to need it to play out quickly. It's not like this today where it's 10:30 a.m. I have hours and hours and hours to let this thing play out if I need to. So London's cool. Can be volatile, pretty slow moving, right? Very slow moving compared to New York. But I do like London. It's just the middle of the night for me. So we'll see. We'll throw some more fun stuff in there. Maybe some London streams, maybe some power hour, maybe some pre-market. Coming into the open can be pretty interesting. You know, that's where I set often my limit orders, right? Where I've been taking my YM trades. So that could be kind of cool to look at together and talk about, but we'll be doing some more live streaming. Morning, David on Kick. What's up, brother? What's going on? JB says, agreed. Asia has volume only at 7:30 a.m. IST. Ooh, I have no idea when that is. Then the volume is bleh. Gotcha. Yeah, Asia's like super slow. If I call those overnight trades, right? When I was doing stuff in the futures market, I would throw an overnight trade on, which really means like I'd be looking to enter after market open by a couple hours, so we start to get some movement, 8, 9, 10 p.m. Eastern, and then just hold on to it into the next day, with like a set it and forget it type approach. Oh, India. Gotcha. India Standard Time. Yeah. But actually sitting there and scalping Asia, I mean, it could be kind of like trendy. I do hear a lot of guys do it. I just think it's like, that's really slow. Really, really slow. Might have to come off of ES for something like that. But while we're hanging out, guys, 10:39 a.m. Eastern, here's what I am going to do for you guys. Saw some people ask about the giveaway. Here's what we got coming up today. While I am still battling the scammers, the trolls, the spammers, I'm going to run this one in Discord again. I'm going to run today's giveaway again in Discord. So here's what we're going to do. There's the link to the free Discord. If you're not able to get in through that link because your country's banned on WAP or something like that, shoot me an email at support@realdealfutures.com and I will get you into the Discord. Hop in the Discord. We're going to run the giveaway in the Discord today. We're going to run that giveaway. I'm going to drop the form in Discord at, let's say, 60 likes. 60 likes. I'm calling this one out early. Giveaway at 60 likes. You got to be in the Discord to get the form to get a chance to win. Added layer. I don't love to do it. I'd love to do it right on the live stream where the form just goes into the chat, but I'm still coming up with a creative way to prevent people stacking the cards in their favor and taking advantage. So for now, back in Discord. Back in Discord. But giveaway at 60 likes. You want to hop in there? Here, I'll throw it on there. Boom. Giveaway at 60 likes on the YouTube live stream. And for y'all on X, I'm gonna give you the way into the Discord. Remember, free Discord, not a VIP feeder program. I don't say you got to try to join for this amount. There's no course, none of that stuff. I yap about the prop firms and companies I'm affiliated with, just like I do here on the live sessions. But it's all free 99. I give you everything: my strategy, my approach, my trades. I show you transparency. I trade here live every dang day, 100% free. Why is that not loading? There you go. There it is on X too, if you want to hop in there. Yeah, so what did I just say? Amarajit Matharu. So what were you listening to? If you were listening, what did I say? If you can't get in through the Whoop link, maybe somebody could help him out. Let me go back to YouTube and like the stream. No, if you guys are on Kick, you don't have to do that. You can hang out on Kick. I appreciate you being there, supporting that one. But maybe you can figure it out because I said it twice. What did I say to do if you can't get in through WAP, and how I would help you out? I don't know. Maybe you'll figure it out instead of just send the same message. Watching this thing come back down, chopping around here below VWAP. CVD still low. Don't know, guys. I don't know. And again, I'm going to do this one in Discord just to tell you guys. I'm going to do this one in Discord. It's not going to be it's not going to be like you have to hop on the voice chat later or any of that stuff. I'm just going to drop the form and then pick a winner. But the form's only going to drop in Discord. That's what I got going on today. So we're gonna make it easy that way. Just like the form would drop here, I will drop it in Discord. But for now, we're going to watch this trade play out, man. Can I catch a W here? Can we get some green going here, man? Let's go. Let's go, ES. Come on, man. Put the money in the bag, ES. Oh, man. Yeah, showing you guys just taking a look at Bookmap here since I've been talking about it quite a bit. Again, you guys want to check out Bookmap? I'm partnered. I'm affiliated with Bookmap. Could get you the best deal. But decide for yourself like everything else. We're consolidating down here around the lows, kind of drifting higher. I'd love to see buy volume starting to build. I'd love to see buyers by way of volume starting to outweigh sellers. We don't have that. We are maintaining a pretty low cumulative volume delta today. It's flat. It's not dropping off. That would really give me an indication that this trade's about to not work out. What I do like is that we failed to just rip lower after coming through all of these orders to the downside. In fact, we've been creeping higher. And I do like that we have these orders up here at the 725s and then below the 730s. It looks like they are at, if I want it to be exact, yeah, 728 and 3/4, 729. I could see a pop through VWAP, go and tag that, maybe come back down, maybe chop, but we get a pop up here. I'm grabbing a W on this one. On another day, we revert even more aggressively. We start to push right back through VWAP. We catch a beautiful reversal. Not today, man. This is just kind of choppy. I do think we could fall, right? We could absolutely just start to sell off and drift lower. You know, this could be a leading indication that, you know, buyers are just not showing up down here. We're consolidating, but we're going to drift lower today, or we're going to see a really aggressive sell-off. We're going to see something come lower. But overall, everything's pretty flat. There's not a whole lot of movement out of these markets. Again, entering from the extremes from down here. I have a nice wide stop loss, and even if we chop back and forth, so long as we don't sell off, potential to stay alive, generate a W. That's a benefit of trading from the extremes. I don't know, so boring. I'm in longs too, losing hope. No news folder, no tweets, no nothing. 50-minute candle close green, but not a big body. Yeah. Again, I don't have a whole lot of hope in this. Not a whole lot of hope, just not a whole lot of excitement. It's slow moving, right? At any time, anybody can start talking about something and kick this market into gear, but it's very slow moving. Even yesterday, really until we started to drop, like almost into the afternoon, it was really choppy, slow moving off the open. So I don't mind what we're seeing here. This still looks okay to me. Let's see. VWAP's going to be a challenge here in ES, as it traditionally is. can we come back through VWAP with some force? Do we really turn this around? We start to push back up to the upside today. Where do we take this thing? Let's see. Must be using bots. Need penguins for Discord. Yeah. For those that don't know, we actually got duck races with slow-mo in the Discord, so go there. Giveaway of 60 likes. Guys, why is the likes not going up? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. We'll drop a form at 60 likes. Sitting just north of the border. Need south. Ducks go south. Penguins are south. Oh, no, I'm trolling like Wolf again. Yeah, you guys are funny. Neo, if you're on here listening somewhere, we will do marble races eventually, man. I just get I get caught up doing 1,000 different things. I really try to keep a lot of focus on my trading itself, right? Being a good money manager with everything that I do, and then I do a lot for the content side, right? I'm active on a lot of different platforms, and innovating the giveaways takes the back end, right? As long as I'm giving accounts away and everybody has a fair shot and it's something relatively fun rather than me just picking a random number the way that I was doing last time with, not last time, weeks ago. I haven't spent too much time, but eventually we'll do penguins and marbles and geese and bears and rabbits, whatever you guys want. We'll race everything. All right. Can we get a pop through VWAP? Here we go. I want to see a straight shot to the 25s. Grab a quick W, drop a form, get a giveaway rolling, and then go back outside, unfortunately, on the roof repair that's happening on my house and see how far those guys are along. Let's see. Test a VWAP. Here. What are we going to do? ES? Yeah, 52 likes. Giveaway will drop at 60 likes, guys. Giveaway will drop at 60 likes. Oh, man. Yeah, slow, man. Slow moving. Slow moving chart. Do we reject VWAP here and come lower? Let's see what else we got going on the day. Financial Juice. Let's see what they got for us. Nothing. Not a whole lot. Let's check around the horn overall. Looking at percent change on the day, the indices are flat as they come. ES is actually showing the ESZ contract is actually showing 0.00 change for the day right here at this price level. There you go, 0.0102. NASDAQ is negative 0.03 and YM is positive 0.08. So very flat for U.S. indices, almost unchanged when we look at the day over day percent change. Mag 7, which is worth a peek every once in a while, next to nothing. The only one that's over 1% in either direction is Tesla. Tesla's got a little pop going on, 3.25% green. Everybody else is near flat. So just not a whole lot out of these markets. Again, I'm not building off that context. I'm not going to look for a home run. I'm not just going to grab profit in 2 seconds, right, on trades that I put on. But I think a more reasonable target would be over a 1-to-1 back towards that prior day high. If we get a crack up towards this 25 level where we have some liquidity well below that overnight low, it's also an area of high volume, right? Kind of in the middle of where we consolidated here. I'm going to look to grab profit on this. That's going to be my play today. What's up in the chat? Ange, what's up, Cart? Ange Cart. Rich Boy Trades in both buys on NQ and ES. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Let's see, man. Let's see. Ah, there we go. 66 likes on the stream. Got a form dropping in Discord right now. Not in the voice channel. I see some people hopped in the voice channel. It's just gonna be a form that drops. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting off the stream. Let me clarify. Just gonna be a form. You guys fill the form out. We're gonna pick a winner today, very simply. Not gonna do anything crazy. Everything's gonna be done on the live stream except for the form, which is going in Discord to try to filter out the scammer spammers. There you go. If you're not in Discord, feel free to hop in. Again, here is the link. I'll post the links 47,000 times for you guys. 100% free trading Discord. If you can't get in through this link, what did I tell you to do? Told you to shoot me an email at support@realdealfutures.com, and I will get you in. Sometimes countries are banned and stuff. I understand. Support@realdealfutures.com. If you can't get into the free Discord, I'll help you out. I'll get you in. I know a guy. But yeah, go ahead, get that one filled out. Give you guys about 15 minutes, or I'll just give you towards the end of this live session. No crazy rush today while we're watching this trade just painfully reverse off of VWAP. Is it just going to be a test of VWAP and come back down? We're fixing to find out, as they say in the South. Fixing to find out. On that note, guys, I'll be right back. Let me make the note actually here. Boom. There we go. All right. Watching this thing come all the way back down. I hate that rejection. VWAP looks like it's going to be a problem. Looks like it's going to be a problem today. That is not great. What I did like on the way up, which I will note because I've been pointing out stuff on Bookmap all day. What I did like on the way up here was a nice move in CVD. What I also like on this sell-off that we just had off of VWAP, we did not fall out of bed on cumulative volume delta. We'll see. We'll see how CVD helps or hurts me today. Right? There are only tools that we could attempt to use in our favor. It's going to help or hurt. Be right back, guys. All right. How did chair do? How did chair do today? I don't know, chair. Down around the lows again? Gonna be an interesting one to watch this play out. Choppy, 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 man. Choppy. Can't complain about my entry. Bookmap error. I'd like to see this thing come back up. I like what CVD is doing here, but I don't know, man. This could go either way. Bookmap, what the hell? Okay. Critical error on bookmap. Okay. Don't report the error. Exit. All right, I got to restart bookmap. Wow, that sucks. All right, bookmap crashed on me. It's going to reset my CVD now. All right, anyway, guys, watching this thing play out, pushing the upside. If you are asleep at the wheel, we got a giveaway rolling in Discord. Right now, we're going to do some giveaways. You got to hop in the free Discord. Trying to limit the trolls. It is a live giveaway, but you do have to get yourself into the Discord. Guess what? Still free. You don't have to use a code. You don't have to pay anything. Free 99. The Discord is 100% free, and there's no paid version of that Discord. Okay? So before you yell at me, hop into Discord. If you can't hop in through WAP, well, like I said earlier, go ahead and send me an email at support@realdealfutures.com. I'll reply with a special link to get you personally into the free Discord. That's how much I care about every one of you guys. And I'm doing that genuinely myself because I really still want to keep running giveaways. I used to love winning free stuff. I used to love hopping on people's streams and having a chance to win stuff, free resets or whatever it is. I like giving back to the community, giving back to those that support me, that are on the channel. And even more than all that, I loved this year, a couple weeks ago, when we gave out an account, we ran a duck race, someone paid $0 and made it all the way to a payout. They went from $0 to $2,500 on a payout. That's why I do it. That's why I do the giveaways, man. That's what it's for. Is it extremely common that somebody does that? No, I think a lot of people just disrespect things they get for free, but I can't control that. I love to give people a shot, especially if you're in a spot where money is tight. I think free prop firm accounts can be awesome opportunities, man. Or just cash, because I've sent out I don't like to say that, but I've sent out quite a bit of giveaways personally myself this year. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are responding to the forum. We got like 46 people on that one. Cool. Very cool. Awesome. And again, it's going to be I'm just going to help you guys out. It's going to be right here. We're going to do an easy quick giveaway. It's going to be simple. Fill it out in Discord and we'll run it. But yeah, overall this is like watching paint dry, guys. This is a whole lot of nothing. Like watching paint dry on this screen. Maybe you're scalping back and forth on the 1 minute chart and this is great for you. Just a whole lot of nothing. I still think we could turn this into a choppy day, but it is making the case for a move lower with that type of formation. Test of VWAP, rejection, down around the lows. We could be going to prior day low here. Again, CVD, what I'm seeing on Bookmap, although it is now completely skewed since it had to reset on me, which is very frustrating. I like what I see out of that. Does that push through? We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Time tells all. Here we go, guys. So you guys are looking at there's the 100% free community link in Discord, pinned now, so you guys can get in there. Oh, there's the Discord link. There's the Discord link. ES bear flag, bro. Yep. Right? If you trade chart patterns, I would agree with you on this one. As we're hanging out, waiting for you guys to fill out the form. Right? You could say that's a bear flag. You could say that's a bear flag. You could say that's a bear flag. Right? Maybe you're taking shorts on stuff like this. Yeah, simple chart patterns aren't bad. I just classify it all as price action and market structure. But higher time frame, push to the upside, looking for a move back up here. Test a VWAP and then back down. I don't love it. But in long, I can't fault myself for being in long. I could definitely fault myself getting in short these days with my hit rate on wins on longs versus shorts. But yeah. Let's see. 7 meshes above WAP link. Yep, almost as fun as watching golf. Will go down. Okay, maybe. ICT macro time. Gosh, how many accounts did you blow for trading? Prop firm accounts, quite a few. Live accounts, I'm happy to say that I've never completely cooked a live account. I've certainly had to redeposit, but I've never been liquidated in a live account. I came to trading a little bit later in life with a little bit more respect for money than I think most. And that's not to say that I didn't lose a lot of money, thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when I first started trading in live accounts, but I was more of a slow bleed guy. In prop accounts, when I first started trading with prop firms, I think I can't remember if I ever, I bought Take Profit Trader. I think I bought a Take Profit Trader or 2 account first, blew those, and then I ran through a lot of Top Step accounts. Really, what I was called testing, right? Kind of working through, getting comfortable on different platforms. Coming over to Tradeovate, coming over to Project X, getting comfortable with these new platforms that I hadn't traded on. But also part of that was a disrespect for the accounts. Like I just said, I had respect for some because they were so cheap. I don't know if you guys were around back in the day when Top Step had the $19 50Ks or even cheaper. I think they were $4.50. But having such a low investment in accounts can work against you where you just have zero respect for it. And then there was also a point, even later into that journey, after I had been funded and paid out, where I was learning from people around me in the space, in the futures prop firm space. Obviously, had gained traction in trading, understood that, good risk management, all of these things, but I wanted to figure out how to scale with prop firms. And a lot of what I was watching, I didn't really understand at the time. It was sim farming. It was extremely aggressive trading. And I really didn't comprehend it as much because nobody really tells you what they're doing. And I just thought it was going to be a little bit more normal to really trade prop accounts super aggressively and burn through many of them on the way to more frequent and larger payouts. But I got away from that altogether. Held on to, I didn't do that up front. I will say I didn't do that up front. When I first got funded with Top Step, and I talked about it while I was trading on Top Step TV. I first got funded with Top Step. I continued to trade evals until I got max funded with Top Step. And then I made it a goal to not lose a single account before I made it to a payout once I started trading them, albeit a small payout, and it took me a while. But I did that. I was happy to be able to manage risk that way. And then I went bounce back and forth between being too aggressive and not aggressive enough, but got to a point where I was taking consistent payouts. And what I recognize in the prop firm space for someone like me who also trades large size live accounts is the ability to scale is either going to come from one of two places. One, trying to get moved to a live account with the largest size amount of money that you can, and then scale in a live account and just leverage having a live account, benefits with a prop firm, or trade them stupid aggressively and burn through them like, really, really aggressively, copy trading, 100 of them, and have this huge investment in evals and challenges, and maybe deal with getting banned or denied because you're not really trading well. You're just extremely aggressive, oversizing for what the accounts can handle. So I'm going the live account route, right? I've completely backed off on chasing prop firm payouts. That's not my goal at all. I posted some of the last ones that I was taking this year and said this is probably all you're going to see because my focus is on a live account, right? I'm either going to lose the account on the way to getting considered for a live account or get kicked to a live account. The only thing that doesn't really, and then again, I trade my own personal live accounts, not to be confused with prop firm live accounts. The only thing that doesn't really fit that is in the middle of all that, or when I got started with Top 1, when these accounts launched, I said I was going to trade this 7-pack of straight to sim funded pro accounts all the way to failure or to profit. And I said that because these have a different rule set than anything I've traded. And if I'm going to talk about something and promote something and, discuss it in videos, I better well have experience on it, right? And I didn't have any experience with intraday trailing drawdown accounts, which these have, the ones I'm trading right now. I didn't have any experience with equity stability score, which these have. So I've been trading these in a painfully break-even fashion. I've been back and forth for months now on these accounts. But I'm not just going to YOLO them. I'm going to slowly bleed them until I lose or slowly grind them into profit until I catch a payout. But on the back end of that, and what I anticipate potentially happening first is I'm trading the instant funded accounts like I've talked about individually. This looks ugly. Individually, more aggressively, not insanely aggressively, but slightly more aggressively than what I would do copy trading a whole bunch of them. And intending to build a buffer and get kicked to a live account, hopefully from a 150K instant funded account. And that might happen before I really do anything in these. So I think that really detailed explanation can answers your question. If you're asking for a number, I don't know. A lot. But I was never, and again, that was a point where I was way too aggressive with Top Step, way too aggressive. But I didn't go down the I'm going to spend $100,000 a year on prop firm accounts to rip through them. Let's see. Making the form longer with more fields and more difficult to access was smart. Keep throwing roadblocks, Zach. Require anyone filling out the form to do simple algebra and answer correctly. Yeah. We got the giveaway form pinned in Discord, guys, for anybody interested. I've blown 250K, one IF, one straight to funded. Yeah. First partial was at 28. Sorry if this is a repetitive question. Also, sorry if you don't want to share, but how much money did you lose before becoming profitable? No, I don't care to talk about it at all. How much money? I don't know the exact dollar amount. But well into the five figures. It was not a couple hundred or a couple thousand. It was well into the 5-figure mark. That wasn't prop firms either. I lost that in live accounts. Lost that in personal live accounts. And my initial intro, if you guys want to go back through the whole thing, I have a really good, I'm going to do another one pretty soon with Austin Silver, but I got a podcast with Austin Silver, so where I talk about it. But I got started in stocks, meaning really somebody told me, hey, you have to open up a Roth IRA, an investment brokerage, and start investing for your retirement. And I can't remember what it was. I think it was Apple, but something, I saw money go in and I saw it go up and I went, oh, that seems great. I'm going to figure that out. And that quickly spiraled into crypto trading from the US on regulated crypto exchanges, which was really not beneficial to do at all. It was long only. And then into Forex. And all of that time, I was slowly bleeding money to the markets. Again, I wasn't the blow up king. It wasn't really huge losses or blowing accounts, but it was just a consistent losing. I was a consistent loser for a long period of time. And I answered that question yesterday on the story. People ask how long that was. I'm going to be more conservative when I say that I don't think, because you never really know, right? You make money, you lose money, make money, lose money. You start to lose a little bit less. You start to make a little bit more. You go back and forth. I'm going to say I didn't stop consistently losing money and start to break even into over the 3-year mark. I used to think more it was like the 2 to 3 year mark. As we're starting to sell off here, ugly. But I'm gonna say pretty confidently over 3 years before I just started to break even and start turning a profit. But I really honestly, it was so painful at the time as it was happening. And I do my taxes. I keep good records. I really, at that point, I really didn't ever want to see the full number. I had made myself aware a number of times of what it looked like, but well over the 5-figure mark in live accounts. Not 6 figures, but well over that $10,000 mark. Before I started to balance out, start to stop losing money, and then start to shift the odds in my favor, start gaining some traction. And that was trading live accounts in Forex. It's where I started to have the most traction, where I started to actually start making money, where I dug accounts out of drawdown and then back into profit, and I actually started withdrawing, that type of stuff, which was nice. No, man. I think anybody, and I think like what would I have done differently, is always helpful, because you guys were asking the question. I think starting with prop firms, or if you're starting on demo first and staying on demo for a hella long time is really important. And then if you don't have confidence, sticking with prop firms for, a long period of time, keeping risk stupidly low is very helpful. And then past that, when you get to a live account, keep it super, super, super low, super low. I didn't do that. I came to the market with money. I had money, and I put that money right into live accounts. And then I continued to load it up, thinking that, I'd be able to shortcut trading success by starting with large capital. It's not always the answer. Sorry, guys. I'm just watching. I'm watching Bookmap over here on the left-hand side, man. This is tough. Sweeping a low here. I'm interested to see if we start to come back down towards that prior day low level, but not yet. Which instant funded is better at top one? Depends. Depends on what you're looking for. For me, I like the instant funded, the OG instant funded, not the straight to sim funded pro, and not the elite challenge, because the instant sim funded has the best rule set and it's more expensive, right? But again, it depends. Depends on whether or not. All right. Stop spamming the chat, yo. All right, Muhammad H. Okay, timeout for you. Immediate timeout. You definitely don't get to spam the chat like that. I actually try to read questions, and that just makes it very difficult. Yeah, you got a timeout. Train with Luhan. What's up, man? You're an OG. Hello, Zach. Can you please send the link for the Discord because it's not available? Yeah, send me an email. Blue one last week was brutal. Top one futures Discord. My Discord. Hit my TP. The link is pinned, guys. It's a good question. What do you think? What do you think caused it? Right? What do you think causes you to keep losing money? For me, it was very clear. It was a complete focus on strategy, and more. It was searching for the Holy Grail, focusing on strategy, thinking that you had to, strategy your way out of into profitability. A complete disregard for mindset psychology. I was a pretty good risk manager from the beginning. And a never-ending search for the next indicator, the next tool, the next objective rules-based system that was going to save me. It was going to prevent me from taking losses. And I stayed there for a long period of time. a really long period of time, which is where I see most traders. When I meet them, they're asking the wrong questions. They're all asking about strategy. They're all asking about an indicator. They're all asking about, an entry or an exit or timing the market and all these types of things, right? And it's not about risk management. It's not about how to apply discretion and subjectivity and, at what degree. It's not about screen time and, building out your experience in the markets, right? So it really wasn't until I moved away from that. I accepted I was going to have to apply my own discretion. I was going to have to gain experience in the market, and I was gaining experience, and I needed to use that. And just accept that I was never going to make a 100% rules-based system that could be coded into a bot or a strategy work. Slowed down, sized down, and really simplified my trading, stripped my charts completely naked. I used to trade a completely naked chart for a long period of time. Zero, nothing, just price, one time frame. That's where I started to make progress. But before that, it was make a little bit of progress, take a couple losses, change something. Make a little bit of progress, take a couple losses, not working, change something, right? That's where I stayed for a long period of time. It wasn't tilt for me, really. It wasn't, this insane, boom and bust cycle. It was just a slow bleed. But everybody has that, different spot. Some people have just an excellent read of the market with excellent discretion. They apply that right off the bat, and they're able to generate huge returns immediately, and then they just blow it up completely. They lose everything they've made and then twice as much. I wasn't in that situation either. That, I'd argue, is almost more dangerous. So elusive to grab onto that. But hope that helps, Trading with Lujan. Hope that helps. Again, I think if you're in one of those situations, track what you're doing, wherever you are. I think how you can start to make progress, track what you're doing. That's what I would tell myself. Stop changing what you're doing. What you are doing is probably fine. Your system, your indicators, whatever you're doing, as long as it's simple enough and allows you to actually focus on what matters, it's not overlaying 1,000 things, and you're able to focus on risk management and have some consistent repeatability, just stick with what you have. Start tracking your trading, what's working, what's not working. Start thinking about where you're applying your discretion, how you're able to take the higher time frame context, fundamental context, whatever you use into your trading. Use that to your advantage, right? And if you're losing money, also, so I wish somebody grabbed me by the shirt and in the neck and said, "Stop trading a live account. Just stop. Take money off the line. You don't need to be losing money while you learn this. At a certain point, you're going to have to put risk on, but you don't have to just be ripping through prop accounts or live account funds while you're doing it. You just do not. At a certain point, you're going to have to scale, but slow down, size down, figure it out on demo first. Hope that helps, my brother. All right. We got the giveaway in the chat. We got the giveaway in Discord, guys. I'm gonna run a duck race with you guys. I'll run a duck race with you guys here. But these are good questions. Let me read through the rest of this and just finish off. I don't always answer every question, as you guys know. As we're growing, I'm gonna be able to answer less and less, actually. So no disrespect, but when you get good questions, I think they're helpful. Yeah. Tough start to a new account. Yep. Think you found one of the spammers. Yep. Sorry for the questions, and thanks for answering them so fully. Yeah. No. Of course, man. Again, everybody's journey is unique, and I think a lot of people, when they ask questions, I used to ask people all the time, and I get asked all the time, how long did it take to get profitable? How long did it take to get profitable? How long before you made money? How did you make money, right? Like we're asking that because we want to know how long is it going to take me to get profitable, right? How long, is this going to go for me? And the real answer is it depends. It's so unique. It's so different to everybody. It depends on so many factors, but one thing I'll tell you is way longer than you think. However long it is, double or triple that. It's a painful road. What do you feel like is a good idea to actually change strategy? When do you feel like is a good idea to actually change strategy? Here's what I think, Train with Luhan. Your goal should be to get something that starts to work. I think are you in the main Discord, Ben? Because I think I remember you taking like hella payouts and being a live account trader. Am I thinking of the right person? Or maybe am I thinking about something different? You don't have to share if you weren't. But there's a couple of Luhans or guys that I had spoken to. For me, I think try to get something stupidly simple that allows you maybe to use what's really important, in my humble opinion, which is price action and market structure, maybe volume, and not 47,000 indicators, right? And once you get that, build off that, right? Continue to build off that. If you have a sample size of 20, 30 trades where you're identifying something is not working at all, then I think it's time for an adjustment. But I don't think it's always time to change strategies, right? I don't think it's time to like throw everything you're doing out the window and do something completely different. Like if you go back and watch, I've been live trading on here on YouTube for a long time. You could watch. I have short hair and then long hair. That's no haircut for 2 years and then short hair again. You could watch the time pass, and you could watch the changes in my approach, my strategy, the way that I'm trading. You don't watch me do something insanely different. I'm pretty much only trading U.S. indices. I'm actually only trading U.S. indices. I'm using almost all the same tools. I filter back and forth through a little bit different things. But there's not this insane, well, one day I'm trading MACD and RSI crossover on crude oil. And then the next day I'm just trading breakouts on NQ with order flow only. And then the next day I'm trading a moving average crossover with Bollinger Bands, right? So overall, I think as traders, we have to continue. We're going to continue to get better, right? I'm not the best, and I'm definitely not done. I'm learning every single day, and I'm continuing to get better. So I'm not finished by any means. And I think nobody's ever finished. You're always going to continue to get better a little bit. Obviously, more growth earlier on. But I think you have to adapt in large sample sizes. Once you start to get some traction, you start to get something that's working, you build off that, you adapt it to the market that you're trading. You review the way that I do, and I look at what's working, what's not working. I try to be cautious doing what's not working, do a little bit more of what's working, but not change strategies and throw everything out. That's my thought process. Zach, I think I found the secret recipe. I normally take 2-3 trades. First one's build a cushion, then go aggressive with last trade, 10 to 15 contracts, 30-second rule, and profit. I close for the day. Not me. Oh, Train with Luhan. Okay, yeah. There's another Luhan that's also active. But that's cool. Yeah, that's a prop firm approach. It's a prop firm approach, right? Building a buffer, dealing with the end of day or intraday trailing drawdown. Scaling and building a buffer. Futures are far different from trading stocks, swinging with ETFs. Yeah, they are. Thinking about future me, bro. Yeah. I'm Zach on Zorna. Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, no, guys, I think I think what most people also need to do, most traders, this is good conversation. Most traders need to find the Achilles heel, right? Where are you doing your worst, right? Like what's happening that's holding you back? For me, it was strategy hopping. It was never ending search for the Holy Grail. It was placing focus in the wrong spot. Are you blowing up on tilt? Is that your Achilles heel? Like, is that the thing that's keeping you from, working towards payouts or profitability? Can you not stop trading? Are you addicted to just action and you're taking 47 trades a day and the first 3 are so good and you make money and then you blow it every day? Be honest with yourself. Look at your trading, look in the mirror and say, what am I doing that is just horrible, that I'm embarrassed about, that if I was sitting next to Zach or somebody else trading and they were watching me do this, they'd be like, what are you doing, bro? What is that thing? Try to fix that. Because most people, overall that I find outside of the very early on, the first couple months, 6 months, a year in, year and a half in, You got experience. You understand the markets to a basic degree. You understand, risk management. You have a strategy, you have an approach, but you just have this demon that you're fighting, and he's winning every single day. What is that demon? Figure out how you're going to kill it, okay? And that comes from review, right? It comes from looking at what's happening over and over and over again, and then making, sometimes a big change. Slowing way down, setting personal daily loss limits in Project X, limiting yourself to trading demo, limiting yourself to trading one prop account individually with the goal of just not blowing it. Forget about taking payouts, forget about growing it in 5 days. Like make a change. Otherwise, you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you gain a little bit of experience, right? You're still gaining time on the screen, but it could be bad practice. So that's good conversations. I mean, in my humble opinion. I like to have those conversations. That's the sauce. That's the real stuff, right? Bookmap crashing for me again. All right. We said we were going to run a duck race. We're going to run a duck race. We're going to run a duck race. Let me get this loaded up for you guys. If you didn't know, I'll throw this up while I'm getting this loaded up. Top 1 futures is 40% off. Excuse me. Yes, 40% off everywhere. Code RDF is going to get you the best deal. Better than the email, better than the website. If you're looking for the best deal for Top 1, 45% off, not just 40. Shout out Top 1 for hooking it up. Instant funded accounts, in my humble opinion, these are going to be the best accounts. Best rule set, most expensive, but best rule set. My preferred account. All right, chat. We got some ducks in a row. Appreciate you guys filling out the form. Yes, I made it more difficult to answer. I made way more questions. You guys are going to help me with some information to give some feedback to Top 1 and for just live trading. I'm grateful to have the ear of a lot of those guys, and I'd like to provide feedback. And I can think one thing, but maybe something else is really important to you, and I don't really care about that thing. Important. So, time for the duck race. Time for the duck race. But before that, I'm going to answer 1 or 2 more questions because I see it. I'll check your monthly record. Sure. I have Achilles' body. That's funny, Wolf. I missed entering. Yeah, sorry guys if you missed it. It's been out for like 40 minutes. My biggest issue is the average down, Martingale. Yeah, man, you gotta clip that. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. A really, really bad habit. I would do everything you can to not do that. All right. We have 58 ducks in a row. Shout out Top 1 Futures for supporting the giveaways. This one's going to be for a 25K Elite Challenge account. I've been giving out way too many of the damn instant funded accounts. I'm going to get yelled at pretty soon again. This is for a 25K Elite Challenge account. Thank you if you filled the form out. If you missed it this time, I dropped it in Discord. Don't worry. We do giveaways every damn day on these live streams. Not guaranteed. Random days, random times. We'll do more of them. It won't be the last. You'll have opportunities to win. Good luck, everybody. We got Discord usernames on this one, Roland, in case you're looking for your name. But yeah, man, adding to losers, I don't see many people do it profitably. Outside of really long-term dollar cost averaging in things like, investing, investing in stocks and, stuff like crypto and just holding for forever, things that are going to take years and years to play out. And it's really not a trade so much as it is an investment. Intraday trading, scalping, averaging down, I don't see many people do it well unless it's pre-planned. If they're scaling in around their entry and or if it's completely pre-planned. Like you have a stop, a target, and your entry, and then you have a limit order or 2 or 3 or however many where you're going to continue to scale in around a certain area. But outside of that, the way it's usually done is, it went against me, and if I just double up now, it'll move my entry, and then I can get back to break even. That's not great. I would flip it on its head and try to add 2 winners if you want to scale into trades. Yeah, man, instant funded. No challenge, no activation fee. Straight into a funded account. Here's the link to check it out. Chatty chat. 20 seconds left. But for Joe E, who asked that, go ahead, check it out if you'd like. RDF gets you the best deal. Andrew Baggs, Tommy, DS Pashar up front, Johnny up front. Who is this coming out of nowhere? Ange hitting the stop loss. Tommy holding strong. Fire Blade making a run out of nowhere. Oh, somebody else right behind him. Nice. Fire Blade with the W. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, chat. You know when we do the smaller accounts, I like to run a bunch of them. Don't go anywhere just yet. We're going to run another duck race. But first, Fire Blade in Discord. Let me see who this person actually is. All right. We're going to run it again. Let me make a note because I also sometimes forget who actually wins. What is your name on YouTube? Oh, it's Fast Money. What's up, dude? W's in the chat for Fast Money. Took the win on that one. Congratulations. Well done. We're going to run another one. We're going to run it back. This is going to be for the same type of account, guys. A 25K Elite Challenge account with top 1 futures. I'll be following up with you guys after if you take the W. Not going to keep you too long. Let's run it. What's up, everybody on Kick? If you missed it last time, you can get into the Discord and get on it next time. There we go. Fast Money Formula. There he is. W in the chat, bro. You took the win on that one. I'll be following up with you afterwards. Let me make a note so I don't mess this one up. Pretty spread out pack here. We got a lot of jockeying around. It's a little early to tell, chat. I don't know. My duck was dressed as Speedy Gonzalez but lost. Why didn't I get my Trump duck? I'm a chef today. Yeah. Let's see. Under a minute on the clock. Let's see. I see we got a bunch of people that hopped on Kick. What's up, Kick? If you hopped on late, I run giveaways for futures prop firm accounts almost every day on these streams. You could sub, you could do whatever you want to do. You can hop in the free Discord. Link is up above. I'll link it again. But we got 18 seconds left. Let's see. Brian C down on the bottom. That's a familiar name. We got the Pirate Duck, the Vampire Duck, the Unicorn Duck. Brian C holding really strong. Oh, right towards the end. Hunlin 888 with somebody making a run. We got the Space Duck right here, the Space Cadet Duck. Hang on, I wanted to throw this in Kick for you guys. There you go. If you want to hop in the free Discord, 100% free Discord, no VIP or nothing. There it is, guys. My duck's swimming backwards. I missed the entries. Should have had a trade wars type of event. Yeah, we'll have something. Hey, yo, Brian, almost, bro. Almost. That's okay. YM looks like it sold off for you. Sold off for me, too. I got a W going in that live account, but I had a W going in that live account, I should say. All right, let's see who this is. Who do we have here? Number 25, Hunlen. What's up? I'm sorry I'm saying your name wrong. I see you. There you go. In Discord. What's up? You got a 25K Elite Challenge account. coming from Top 1 Futures. W's in the chat for these guys. Thank you, everybody. Yes, sir. Still waiting for Pride Day low break. Nice. Nice. My duck was in the lead for 5 seconds. All right. The ducks are still quacking. W's in the chat for those guys that won the giveaway today. Remember, guys, if you want a chance to win in the future, I don't know that I'm going to be doing them all in Discord like that, but feel free. Hop in the 100% free trading Discord up at the top of the chat. As I'm watching this trade painfully, slowly grind lower. Tough, man. Ended with a tough week last week. Came off some wins. Came off of some wins. Was hoping to really reverse last week and rip these accounts back into profit, but back and forth. Part of it, man. Part of it. This has been one of the longest stretches of break even in a set of prop accounts that I've ever had. I think objectively, but I'll make some videos about it. You guys will watch it play out live. I don't have too many more L's before I kill him. I probably only have with the $1,000 worth of risks that I'm trading here. I probably only have three more. These have a $4,500, if I'm remembering correctly, a $4,500 max loss limit. Took some L's last week. Took an L this week. Probably only have 3 or less full stop outs before these would be killed. But we'll see. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for hopping on. Nice. We'll see if we get that prior day low break on we're right there. Yeah, we're right there on YM. I'm out. Out of that one. I was short YM from, let's look at filled orders. I was short YM from 746. 746. Got a little, what do I got in here? Account summary. Yeah, I got a little $820 in the live account. Nothing to write home about. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Remember, hop in the free Discord if you want to check out Top 1 Futures. This is the deal that's running till the end of the month. Instant funded account. No challenge, no activation fee. Sound like somebody wasn't familiar with instant funding. No challenge, no activation fee. Straight into a funded account, trading for profit that you stand to withdraw from day one. These are my favorite accounts. These are what I would consider the best accounts for me personally. The more expensive, widest rule set. Some of the best rules and conditions in the industry. If you want to check it out, code RDF gets you the best deal. Remember the promo here. They're usually only letting you copy trade 3. The promo here outside of the price is you're able to copy trade up to 5 of the 25K and the 50K. They were only letting you copy trade 3 up to recently. Code RDF gets you the best deal. If you want to check it out, go ahead, check it out. Link is in the chat. Remember, I'm biased, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I stand to make money, can't be unbiased. Quick disclaimer, guys. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Trading's risky. Most traders do lose money. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Thanks for being here with me, guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and every other dang day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 100% free. And some more additional streams. Feel free to hop in Discord and check out when those are. Talk to you guys soon.